what it boiled down to was because we were different. You see what I'm saying? Like the first joint we did wasn't even produced by me. It was produced by Keyboard Money Mike. It was called Space Groove. That's what we was shopping and getting dissed on. And Keyboard Money Mike was dope. You know, he played on Eagle Trippin'. And you know, he lies to people and tell them that he produced it. Like, I'm like, Mike, when the fuck you ever come up with substitution? Me and Keith told you everything to do on the fucking record. The only thing he did was at the end. That's all him. Right. The down, and that shit is fresh. But that's your only real contribution. All you did was you had the keyboard. Could have hired a nigga that did the same shit. Right. If we would have hired a nigga, we'd have the same shit, just that ending would have been different. It would, even though it was dope and it was appreciated, that would have been different. But I could hire any musician to go, give me a scale. Dun, dun, dun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't.
Even in the bass line part, like he was playing, we wanted
he had a jazz.
Like we had it going do-doom, do-doom. And he wanted to go, it was cool. He was musical. He wanted to go boom, 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 boom.
He's like, oh.
He's like, hold up, we don't want.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
But he was good. He was the Ultra voice, and we put it through a sampler, and it became the Ultra voice, like Ultra. He did. And we put that through some effects and stuff, and everything was good. And we did that at Calliope, right? We recorded Ego Trippin' at Calliope, But we got the deal after we did Ego Trippin', so we ended up with. We thought, we ended up with this guy called DNA Internet. You probably know Hank Love radio show. Yeah, DNA. So DNA would take us around and try to shop a deal. I think we pressed up 300 copies. First we did To Give You Love with DNA.
To Give You Love flopped.
So he said, we did Eagle Trip.
Yeah, but hold on, let's tell the story. You got to set it up. To Give You Love, and we're real sorry about this because it was a community project. From my brother, to my Aunt Bernice, to my mom's, to his mother, everybody invested money in To Give You Love. And we pressed up 5,000 records and sold maybe 3 of them. And everybody took that loss, and it was real hard. And I was depressed. So I'm sitting up at this jam outside around the 9, up in front of Easy AD's building, 1370. And the DJ threw on Substitution. And I seen the crowd bopping and shit. And I said, whoa. I called Keith. I said, yo, you got it? He said, yeah, my cousin got it. He went and got the joints. He got the records. And
I got it from Steve Martin. He gave me the record. And I was like, we got to do this, hook the Substitution up, because the sound in the streets was changing from the Lindrum. See, the DMX and the Lindrum was out. So we was like, okay, we was getting on the end of that phase of the Lindrum, and the DMX was going in and out. All the Queens rappers, Davey D and all that stuff. They was using the Lin, and I guess whatever. Everybody had the Lindrum sound. But then we said we got to cross. The samples was coming in.
Yeah, like I told you, Marley,
the SB12 stuff.
Marley had put out that Kingsbridge joint, and that shined the light. Like, yes, you can run with the beats.
But we only had one more chance.
Yep,
one chance,
and we had to make it stick. So,
Eagle Trippin' hit the streets and it was everywhere. People riding by the Jeep, Ultra. People riding down Morris, Ultra. People coming down the Grand Concourse, Ultra. Project Nights with big boxes, Ultra. Everywhere you go.
So the craziest shit. Hold up. So we were still with DNA. Had no deal yet. So we pressed up, like he said, 300 of them. So we went to Latin Quarters. And Red wasn't even DJing at Latin Quarters at this time. Him and Chuck.
Now tell me about the time. First we did To Give You Love.
Yeah. Like you said, we got to get it in chronological order. So when that first record, we took all the loss on. Raul, the DJ, the old first DJ at Latin Quarters, he put that shit on. Everybody took a lunch break. The whole dance floor cleared out.
And look, me and Seth couldn't even look at each other.
Just put our heads down.
Right.
So now, you know, so we had Eagle Trippin. So I kind of was confident, right? Because when we drove up the Latin Quarters, there was a line, and Eric B was walking in, and we drove up, we had Eagle Trippin playing, and motherfuckers just started whopping out on the line. And we just looked at each other like, oh, we got one. So then we got up in the Latin Quarters, we gave the Raul, he put it on, he said, oh, this shit is hot, I'm gonna play it. But he was playing Peter Piper. Peter Piper, you know that shit was hot.
Run DMC.
Yeah.
Dance floor was, motherfuckers was doing backflips on the dance floor. He was like, I'm putting this shit on. We like, not right now. He's like, yeah, I'm putting it on now. He's like, no, play another record. Then You're like, no, I'm putting this shit on now. And he threw that shit on the crowd. I was like, oh, we just looked like, oh shit, we got one. You know.
That's a good lead-in though. You need to follow that.
You don't want to follow. You put something on that's lukewarm and then put the hot shit on. You know.
He threw it on, yeah.
He threw it on after the hot shit. They still went crazy.
But that shit was everywhere. And I was walking, that was before videos was out. I used to walk through different projects and people, they even never knew my face, saw me on television. They used to be like, MC Voltron. But they didn't know the Ultra, that's what it was saying. But I would walk around places and I hear people out the window, MC Voltron. So that was a thing with me too. I was like, you know, people heard me going, not even knowing me, just knowing my voice.
Right.
Like seeing me, you know, people surprised me like MC Voltron. That's what people used to clown when I walked through different, you know, different parks, taking a walk. I remember I was walking through Patterson and some dudes were sitting on the car. They was like, MC Voltron. That's what they always used to say. So I was like, that shit was crazy. I said, yo, that record is catchy, man. Everywhere. So like you said, the whole Bronx, Brooklyn, that record was all over.
The crazy shit that happened to me with the record though was this dude was around my block. He didn't live around there, so then when he said, yo, it's my man Set G. He made that MC Ultra record. And dude was like, yo, I swear to God, yo, man, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, but it just sounds like y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about. That shit is so fucking dope.
Yeah, that was a big record. Like you said, Washington, Philadelphia, the Jersey. We go anywhere, the hoods in Jersey, Patterson, New Jersey, Newark. I get off the train in Newark, MC Voltron. It just left a stain, possibly. I ain't never see a record stain people's head like that.
Yeah, that record is like another record that's like equivalent to that impact and that sound was I think it was it was Public Enemy, Terminator X.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They had that. Those records are the joints that just ring in your ear, or you in the projects, you sleep, and somebody come through, driving through.
See the thing with Public Enemy was.
I'm on the rampage. You need to know, want to know what age? Sight. I got me back now.
Yeah. DJ 2. You know what it is. Youngster, you are me. It's a reason they call me OG. I saw things you didn't see. Sit down and listen to me. Hey yo, come here.